Hey everyone, this is going to be my Prom Queen recap. It just aired not that long ago, so I don't remember every single thing that happened, but I'll probably do by character or event by event. I also was going to put spoilers in this video, but I thought it'd be way too long. A lot happened. Obviously, Kurt and Blaine, a lot of that. And, oh, sorry, I just ran up the stairs. And, so yeah, I'm going to do my spoilers video on Thursday like I usually do. And I'm probably going to do my fanfiction recommendation either Friday or Saturday, not really sure yet. So yeah, they'll be out soon. So let's go into the recap. I think Kurt decides he wants to go to prom, but he doesn't know how. Eventually he'll convince Blaine to do that. Figgins has to have the New Directions perform at prom because the band that he was going to have play did not work out, and Mr. Shu and Sue were very reluctant on this, but eventually they had to. Mercedes was sad because she didn't have a prom date and she wanted to feel like the queen for one day, the princess or whatever. Rachel sympathized with her because she too does not have a date, and she figures out a plan to get Sam to go to prom with them as a 3 dates, not a 3-way. That'd be something else. I don't know why Sam was at first didn't want Rachel to go with him, but then when Mercedes was included, he was okay with it. So maybe, actually, I'm shipping Sam and Mercedes. I think that'd be good. At first, when I thought, oh, maybe Sam and Mercedes, I wasn't too yeah about it because I don't know. I was just always kind of shipping Mercedes and Artie, in my opinion. But since this episode, I think I'm going to ship Sam Sadie's. So, yeah. And eventually, so Kurt wants Blaine to go to prom with him. We see one of their first dates, and it's so adorable. And we found out a little bit about Blaine's past, more personal into depth. And by the way, he's not wearing his Warbler outfit. We did not see him in the Warbler uniform at all this episode, so I was very excited. Not that I don't mind Blaine in this uniform, but, I mean, once in a while, come on, we gotta see that. Ooh, okay. And, so we saw that he asked Blaine to prom, and he had a bad experience getting beat up for having a guy's date in his past, and he was reluctant at first, but he told him that he cares for Kurt very much, and he's crazy about him, and eventually he says yes to go to prom with him. Kurt's very excited, and he's getting ready with the girls to get a prom dress, and yeah, and then eventually Santana convinces Kurt that Karofsky and her will be like their little guards or protectors in the school because he's gay, and it's hilarious. I find it hilarious, the bully whips. And then, what else? Oh yeah, Jesse St. James came back with Rachel singing Rolling in the Deep. I reviewed some of the songs in one of my last Glee videos, but I'm not a huge fan of the a cappella part of the song. I love Adele's version, her powerful voice, and I think, both of them, both Jonathan Groff and Leah Michelle, have great, amazing, powerful voices, but I feel like Naya Rivera would have done a much better job on a Adele song, and they still haven't done it. I don't know why. I'm still pulling for an Adele song by Santana, Someone Like You. I don't care if it's in season 3 or whatever, but it needs to be done like stat. Me gusta, me gusta. Then, what else? I'm trying to remember by order, but apparently I cannot think of that. Finn and Quinn are still at it, and Rachel talks to Finn about Jesse coming back, and we can see that Finn still cares for Rachel and loves her still, and it's even more obvious during Jar of Hearts at prom. He really, really still loves Rachel, and as a Finchel shipper, I was very excited for this. I don't know, I don't really hate Quinn. I hate her attitude towards a lot of things, thinking she can still own the world, but yet she's still crashing and burning inside. And also some Puck and then some Puck and Lauren storyline and Artie storyline, Artie trying to get Brittany back, singing Isn't She Lovely during a home ec class, and Puck trying to spike the punch and eventually convinces Artie because Brittany says no to Artie. And then Kurt is walking down the hall with Santana, and then eventually walks down the hall with Dave to walk into class, and Kurt tells him that, you know, it's okay to be yourself. And this is one of my favorite scenes of the whole entire episode. And Karofsky breaks down, and I'm like about to cry because this is very sad. And, you know, he sincerely apologizes. What is going on with my hair? He sincerely apologizes to Kurt about bullying him, and it's crazy because Karofsky obviously has redeemed himself in many ways. And although some of you guys aren't probably as kind to Karofsky, I always wanted Kurt to forgive him eventually. I didn't think it was going to be so quick, but I'm actually happy for them. I'm happy. I want them as friends, to be honest. Not as a relationship, but I think they'd have a good friendship because, you know, maybe Kurt could become Dave's mentor, like Blaine was to Kurt. Not leading to a relationship like they did, but, yeah, I wish that Dave eventually comes to terms with himself fully by the end of the season. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I really am hoping. And apparently Karofsky is in the next episode, so maybe he will, because there's only 2 episodes left. And he eventually breaks down crying to Kurt, and oh my god, it was amazing. And Kurt was so sincere and, you know, concerned, and had that tone in his voice, and I was just like, oh my god, Kurt, you're going to make me cry in this episode. And surely enough, he did. And then we see at Kurt's house that Blaine is there, and oh my god, I love the Finn and Blaine conversation. It's not a lot, but to know that Blaine is more comfortable with the Hummel Hudson family is great. And then Bert was there. It was an amazing moment because it could be like a family moment within the next couple of years as a future claim thing. And we see that Kurt wants to wear a kilt, and Blaine is very reluctant. Bert is very, very reluctant. But Finn actually likes it, saying, you know, he's like the gay Braveheart, and I love Finn. He's a great brother, and he's changed so much. He switched from Bert in this situation, and I was just like, oh my god, I love you, Finn. And because Blaine, you know, he's afraid of what's going to happen, like he did when he went to his dance, and Kurt's, you know, like, mad at him. And you can see that in the beginning of the prom, when they get to the prom, because they're not very close in the beginning, because probably some tension between their conversation last that we saw. And what else? Oh yeah, then we see that Sam, Puck, and Artie perform Friday at prom. So much fun. They played Friday at my prom, and I was like, oh my god, this is going to be awesome when they perform it on Glee, because it was awesome there, it's awesome there. I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed the song, and when Glee did it, I was like, this is going to be so fun and catchy, and sure enough, it very much is. I also LOL'd at a lot of the dancing that was going on. Brittany was going crazy with Mike, and Tina's reaction was hilarious. And then we see Dave and Santana awkwardly dancing. So funny. And then we see Santana slapping Dave's butt. That was hilarious. And then Sam and Mercedes dancing, and Rachel and Jesse, and it's just so funny. And then Flynn is being all serious. It was hilarious. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Jar of Hearts, that Sam asks Mercedes to dance. It's so sweet. This is why I ship Sam Mercedes now, and saying you're beautiful. Oh my god, Sam is so sweet. I love him. I just want to mention one of my favorite quotes of the night is when Santana came out in her dress to show Kurt, and he's like, oh, beautiful devil in red, and he's like, for Satan, I mean Santana. It's perfect. I love you, Kurt. And then during Jar of Hearts, yeah, Finn realized he's in love with Rachel, and after that, Jesse and Rachel are dancing to I'm Not Gonna Teach Your Boyfriend How to Dance With You by Blaine, which I think Blaine rocked it. But I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, and I'm obviously a huge Blaine person, but during this scene, when I saw that Finn was gonna fight Jesse, I was more focused on that than Blaine, to be honest. I was thinking, oh my god, they're gonna cut the song from the scene. They're going to cut it because they're fighting, and no, he finished the whole song. He's like, fuck you guys, I'm going to finish this song whether you're fighting or not, because I'm awesome, alright, and I'm hot, so don't be trying to interrupt my solo here. That's just how I was thinking Blaine was thinking. And Finn and Jesse got kicked out of prom. Quinn was furious because now Finn is disqualified as prom king, runner-up, or candidate, I should say, and Rachel was pissed at Quinn. Quinn was pissed at Rachel. And then the biggest moment of the night, I really hope I didn't forget anything. The biggest moment of the night, Prom King and Queen. If you didn't know who Prom King and Queen was, then obviously you were a little more shocked. But even as a person who knew who was going to be Prom King and Queen, I was still shocked because they said, I knew they were going to do Prom King first, because they usually do Prom Queen first on prom, because even at my prom they did that. They said Prom King was David Karofsky, and then Prom Queen. Finnegan's very reluctant on this, and Kurt Hummel, and it just went dead. And you could see that the people voted for him as a joke, and Kurt was humiliated, and I'm gonna cry because it's just so sad, and my heart just shattered. And Kurt ran out, and Blaine after him, and very upset because it was all a joke, thinking, you know, maybe everything's gonna be okay, maybe nobody's gonna judge me for being who I am, and it wasn't, and it was all a joke, and they were doing it in secret. Oh, it was so heartbreaking, and just Blaine being there, and it was a lot. And during the scene with Kurt and Blaine out in the hallway, I loved the quote that Kurt said, they can't touch me, they can't touch us or what we have, and that was beautiful. I mean, obviously I know I'm a big Blaine shipper, but I think this is a very big moment for Blaine, because it's just, we realize how in-depth their relationship is, something that I believe that they'll be together for a very long time. They're just that type of couple. They're so different from the couples on Glee that in the past. They seem like the couple that could be there together forever, because I just think that what they have is incredible, and oh my god, it just broke my little heart. Also, you noticed that there was some foreshadowing in the beginning of the season during the duets episode with Kurt saying, why can't I hold hands with the person I love? Why can't I slow dance at my prom? Obviously, that was a huge foreshadowing because we saw that Kurt finally got to dance with Blaine at prom, and it was beautiful. So I love the foreshadowing that they do on Glee. It obviously gives you big hints. I mean, obviously we didn't know that Blaine was going to come around. This was around the time when Sam was still a person of interest in Kurt's love life. But either way, they still foreshadowed something, and I love that Glee does that. Quinn and Rachel bathroom scene when Quinn slaps her. But she quickly apologizes for slapping her, and they're not really super mean to each other. They're just sort of like how they usually are, Quinn and Rachel. The tension's still not like super friendly, but I don't know if they hate each other. I mean, obviously, I think Quinn realizes that Finn still loves Rachel. We can't forget the Brittana. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. Brittany and Santana moments that we see that Brittany voted for Santana. I really thought they were going to kiss in this episode, like during that scene, so I was like waiting for it. I was like, are they going to kiss? And they didn't. But I think it's the beginning of a almost Brittana moment in the episode, and the season, maybe the finale, who knows. Yeah, but holy moly, that Kurt and Blaine, that Kurt scene was just heartbreaking, like, oh my god. And then eventually he gets the courage to go up and rocks it. He goes up to the stage, taking the crown, saying, "Eat your heart out, Kate Middleton," and I clapped so hard because this is why Kurt Hummel is my inspiration, my god. He just makes everything. He just owns it like no tomorrow, and eventually they have to, I personally thought that once they found out that Kurt was going to be queen, that they would run out. But you can tell he's obviously becoming a little more of himself. And I know he still ran away from Kurt before they danced, saying, "You can't do this." Kurt's like, "This is your time to come out, do it." And he's like, "I can't," and he ran away. But, you know, I'm surprised he lasted that long. I thought he was, when he found out that Kurt was going to be queen, he was like, "Gone, peace out." He still stuck there and sat down waiting for Kurt to come back. And so Kurt was just staying there, and Blaine asks him to dance in front of everyone, and Santana and Mercedes performed Prom Queen, and it was a beautiful moment, and everyone started joining in, and everyone clapped for Kurt when he said his little quote, and it was so wonderful. I know they meant it out of spite and mean and all that, but it's just, oh my god, this, you could tell Ryan Murphy wrote this episode because it was very Kurt-oriented. It was just a beautiful episode, and so much happened. I think I probably forgot like a bunch of other things, but these are the main things that I try to remember. Yeah, Artie had to stay in the prom with stay in Sue's office at prom because he tried to spike the punch. It was really just lemonade. I don't know, but I love at the end when everyone's taking their pictures. Quinn's by herself, and Kurt and Blaine take a picture together, and Artie and Brittany as friends taking a picture together, and all the couples, whatever. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. In the promo, we see that Quinn tries to make Finn and her quit the New Directions, and we see they're going to New York at the beginning, and Jesse becomes a consultant, and nobody's liking this, probably because he's sabotaging who gets to be the soloist at Nationals. Also, I know this isn't the spoiler video, but the leak, or Ryan Seacrest leaked the Light Up the World song, an original song by the New Directions that will be performed at Nationals. If you want to hear it, I'll put a link in the description below so you can check it out. It's very fun. It reminds me of Loser Like Me. Obviously very poppy. It sounds kind of like Kids Bop a little bit, but you know what? I ain't gonna hate. So tell me your favorite parts of the episode. Mine being the Kurt moment, and I'm not saying I'm going to transition into this Kurt Rofsky fan, but I really loved the Kurt and Dave scene. I think Max Adler did an amazing job, and I love every moment with Kurt and Blaine and their first date that we got to see. I mean, we obviously we don't know if we've seen other ones, but then, you know, Blaine's never in his Warbler uniform, and his amazing song is so fun, and that's probably my #1 most played prom song that on my iPod, like right now, besides Friday. And just so much fun. I love it, and I'm shipping Sam Sadie's. What do you think? Are you shipping Samchel? I think that's sort of done with. I think that Finn and Quinn, or Finn and Rachel, or Finn and Jesse, blah, all that love square going on there, is crazy. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. What were your favorite songs of the night? Mine was "I'm Not Gonna Teach Your Boyfriend to Dance with You" by Blaine, and I also liked Friday a lot. Don't judge me. And yeah. So if you want to see me gleek out a little more, you can follow me at KurtHummelOwnsMyHeart.tumblr.com. I'll be reblogging a lot of stuff, especially spoilers, and I'll be doing my spoilers video on Thursday. And, oh, by the way, if you want to ask me questions, I address this in my 90210 video, but not a lot of people watch my 90210's videos as much as my Glee ones. So if you want to follow. If you want to ask me a bunch of questions, no inappropriate ones, obviously, but if they want to be about Glee or me and personally in general, random ask questions, I don't mind. Put them in the comments below, or message me, or on Tumblr. Because I really want to make a question and answers video, and I think if you want to ask questions about Glee, that's fine. If you want to ask questions about myself, that's fine too. Just don't go crazy, you know what I mean. So I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching, subscribing. So I'll see you for my next video, and my fan fiction recommendation video will be up in a couple days as well. So talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. Te amo. Bye.